person, like or Jivan Mukta. So he'll not be bound with any karmas. He will be liberated. So like that way in Tukaram Maharaj saying, like I will drink or whatever I will eat or anything, but it will be on your account only. So nothing is with me. And the very nice two examples from the today's session, Ishwarji has given one important thing. It was our like story on Arjuna's thing. So what is like our goal of life? So like what Arjuna is thinking. So our goal should be like that one thing only, like moksha thing. One more example given by Ajay ji, it was very nice about the venue. So our body is something like venue, and we have to make that body in a such a way that Sri Krishna should lift that and utilize that for a very good sound. This is one thing. And we have seen the BMI chart several times, and it might be thought, and maybe some serious articles can correct on that. We can see that chart, and if you can keep that maybe at a plain level. So we are on one side with OET, PFT, and body, mind, intellect. And in between, there is like a mountain of vasanas. And all those vasanas, and beyond that, there is a like Brahma Tattva, Atma Tattva, or Om, whatever we are saying. And that mountain, we have to burn it with all these things. And maybe if we are trying to utilize like mastic or anything, maybe it will take like millions of bursts or whatever. But what we need here is like a mashal. And Gurudeva is something like mashal, just to burn out those vasanas. One more word coming in the shloka number 22, it is about like a Dvandvatita. And when we like say about like stuti on gurus, like Dvandvatitam Gaganoshturisham. So who is not having any, like there is no any Dvandva. So that is the one of the quality of the group. And one final thing about the word samave, wherever it is coming. So the very good famous shloka for Gita, which is like a Sukhud ke samay kutva labha labhu chaya chayo. So for each and every action, there is no any difference. Just the Mahatma or Yogi, he's just staying on that same place. That's all. Little bit summary from my side. Jai Gurudev. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Then Sanjay ji, you please.
Hari Om. Bhagavan is now opening up the secrets of Karma Yoga. Renunciation through action is the name of the Adhyaya. Act so that you will become unactive. Sounds very oxymoronish. Do so that you will not do. Sounds very opposite. Renunciate through action. How do we reconcile this? What do we know about our own life? It is full of karma. All 24 hours, 365 days, karma is what we all do. Everywhere, the Bhagavad Gita and the scriptures are telling that karma you will have to do, but you have no right over the phalam. So then don't get agitated about the phalam. This all sounds very confusing. As was just now said, how can you be nirashi? Ummeed pe duniya kayam hai. You are living on the hope, and these guys are telling us to give up the hopes. How mundane, how sad, how insipid that life would be where there is no hope. But Bhagavan is giving first condition as nirashi, the one who has no asha, the one who has no hope. How do we reconcile this? They say you must do karma. Then they say you must do a karma which will not amount to karma. That all puts me to a very fundamental question. What am I doing at present? Am I doing a karma or am I enjoying a karma phala? It's a question of deep significance. We all need to think about it. Right now, I'm attending to satsanga. So it is a karma that I'm doing of listening. Is this the phala of my previous karma or is this a new karma? What is it? I go to the office and work there. Am I creating a new karma or am I just enjoying the fruits of my past karma? So the first basic dilemma that we get is to identify a phala from the karma. Karma is the seed, phala is the fruit. So if I'm enjoying the fruits of my past action, which I have to do as karma, then where am I sowing the seeds for the future karma? I was slapped by somebody. I thought it is a karma phala of my past karma. I slapped him back. This also may be the karma phala. How do I distinguish karma from its phala? And once that I know, then the secret of karma yoga will be open to me. Karma phala is coming from karma shaya, collection of past karmas. Who is talking about it? Patanjali Maharaj says, Sati mule tad vipako jati ayu bhogaha. You are in a particular species called human being or animal or tree, jati. You will live for certain number of years, ayu, and you will enjoy certain sorrows as well as enjoyments. All these are because of karma phala vipaka. So I am born as a human being, got acquainted to Gurudev, trying to listen to the satsang. All this is karma phala bhogaha. So the wife that I got, the children that I got, the kind of troubles I'm getting, the kind of happiness I'm getting, the kind of whatever I'm getting, whatever is there in my plate for me to eat is the food that is cooked by me, myself, in the kitchen of my past life. So truly speaking, this life has come to me to enjoy the fruits of my past karma. And if I just enjoy or take the bhoga of my past karma, no new karma will be made at all. In other words, if I accept what I accept, as Balaji Maharaj said, yad labhase nija karmo pate vittam tenam vinodaya chittam. Whatever you have received as a result of your past karma, that is your vitta. Then whether it is a business of loss or gain that you have made in the past life, accordingly the bhoga will come. Enjoy it or suffer it, but put a full stop there and not a comma. Putting a comma is creating new karma. How do I do that? How do I create new karma? And how do I distinguish phala? I tried very hard to make money in my life. Somehow I didn't get it. I was a failure. This failure, in spite of my efforts, because normally the efforts are supposed to give you the results, but everyone doesn't get result as per the efforts. That means there is some pratibandha to the results, to the phalam. So whatever phalam is bound to happen as per my past karma is happening. So I have to accept the phalam of my past karma and swikaroti, accept it with grace. जैशी स्थिती आहे तैशा परीर आहे, कौतुकतूप आहे संचिताचे. With an awe and surprise, whenever you receive an upset or a good thing, just say that, oh, this is because of my past karma that I'm enjoying this. I got a wonderful wife. We have no fights. You know why? This is because I am a very tolerant husband. Sir, you are making a mistake. You are not a tolerant husband. This is because of your past karma. You are having a wonderful relationship with your wife. No, but we fight every day, morning, evening. We even thought of leaving each other 10 times. But somehow, for the sake of children, it's, sir, all this anguish that you got is because of your past karma. But is it my karma or wife's karma? Both. So when you are enjoying the fruits of your past karma, accept them. If it is giving you sorrow, say Hari Ichha Narayana. If it is giving you tremendous amount of respect in the society, accept it, Sri Hari Narayana. Then what will happen? That karma which was there, it has already fructified. The karma, at least that karma is exhausted. So what happened? The debit balance, the credit balance of karma will be debited. Then what will happen? Slowly the karma share will get exhausted and the passbook will come to a zero level and the bank will tell you that, sorry sir, you cannot be member of a thing called samsara. You are now removed from the bank called samsara because you have no vittam. So what is the problem? The problem is when karma has matured or paripakwa and is giving fruit, that time instead of accepting the fruit of the karma, I put my conditions to that acceptance, saying that if it could have been like this, I would like it, but if it could have been like that, I would not like it. This is what you hope for. Non-acceptance of the karma phala leads to expectation about the phala. That is where this Dakini, the demon called Asha, comes into the picture, the desire, the Ichha. Once you have accepted your child as a dumb child, somehow he is not giving enough results in the examination because of his prarabdha, then you don't feel bad. But every time you feel bad because look at the child of that man, he is so brilliant. If I would have had such a child, sir, what happened? Instead of accepting the phalam, you did an ichha. Sorry, sir, another seed has been put on the soil. Now it will sprout again. For that, again, to have such kind of a child, you will be born again. And again, after 140th birth, etc., you may get a child which is brilliant. And the cycle will continue. The passbook will continue to have credits. So the debit cannot exist. The debit is hardly anything. Credits are 10 times more. More the credit, more is a stronger client of the bank called samsara. And the samsara will not lead such a prestigious client. That is the reason the one who has mastered this art, how is he? He knows that I should not be sowing the new seed of karma. So first thing what he does is nirasha, nirgata asha. And how is asha? Asha is plus sad is asha. A means asamantat, like an akash, like a sky, the one which is spread everywhere is called asha. That which is present everywhere like sky. That itself, which is the mother of all new karma, is given up. So the karma ashaya starts reducing, and such a person's mind becomes purer, so purer that before he exhausts his sanchita and everything, he attends to jnana, and jnana is the fire which will then take care of remaining karmas. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. Through shuddha karma, without hoping, expecting phalam, because what has come itself is a phalam. What we do is essentially we retire the current debt. While in the process of retiring the current debt, we become so egoless that all other debts that were existing earlier in the form of sanchita, they becomes orphan because they cannot be ascribed to anybody. If that old sanchita of mine comes to me, like the way in case of Gurudeva, the sanchita came searching for Mr. Balakrishna Menon, but he was no more existing. The Lord had no choice but to say that, okay, burn that sanchita of Balakrishna Menon. Why? He is no more existing. That sanchita was applicable to an ego called Balakrishna Menon, but now he is an egoless Chinmayananda. So Chinmayananda said, I don't know whose sanchita it is. If you say it belongs to Balakrishna Menon, he is dead long back. Find out, search him and give it to him. I have nothing to do with it. So how do you do that desire? How do you stop that asha and the new karma? That is why yat chit atma, yat chit atma, yat yatante, that which with effort is controlled. What is to be controlled? The inner power, that is a chitta. And what is a chitta? That which always keeps holding. Holding what? What the buddhi has made the nishchaya is held into chitta bhumi. And then chitta bhumi undulates, pulsates, oscillates to give vritti. So if chitta itself is controlled, if water itself is still, there will be no waves, no vrittis. So yat chitta means yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So he becomes yogi. And what about Atma, which is referred here? This Atma is not soul. This Atma is a self, which is a body, and Indriya, the Sthula Sharira. Madhusudan Saraswati Maharaj says this particular Atman is nothing else but Sharira with Indriya. And then how do you control this Sharira, Indriya, and the mind and the Vritti, all the complex? How will we control it? By Pratyahara. Madhusudan Saraswati Maharaj gives reference to the Sutra of Patanjali Maharaj here to know the Pratyahara. Svavishaya samprayoge chittasya swarupanukara eva indriyanam pratyaharaha. So the one who controls the Atma, that is a Sharira and Mana, that means the Chitta and the Sharira along with the Indriya, Sanyatendriyata. He is the one who is not letting a new karma come. Tyakta sarva parigraha. Parigraha is to collect. What do we collect in our life? We collect the objects like car, like this. Sir, that collection is of least importance. Shastra is not much worried about that. It is not a point of worry that you look towards a woman and you felt something in your mind. Shastra is not much worried about it. It's bad, but it is not much worrying. What is worrying is, sir, you are getting habituated, because once you see first impression will force you to make second impression. Then first and second, double power, third impression, and the power of impression called samskar will keep increasing. When such a power of samskar increases to a level where it is difficult, where it is very difficult to fight it out, such a samskar, a thickened samskar is called vasana. Sorry. When such a vasana is taking place, that process is more dangerous than the first interaction. It is not the hello, how are you? That is not important. He will become your close, near and dear one. That is very bad. That is why aparigraha means not giving up only these objects and everything that anybody can do. Tomorrow morning you say, I don't need, fine. But what you have done is you have given away the objects, not the desire for the objects. Gurudeva, with a bullseye, has given that word. It is sense of possession, not possession. Possession is anyway bad. Sense of possession. We all say in our daily life what to do. Children are children. Ultimately, it's his prarabdha. Wife is his prarabdha. All that. It is very good to say, sir. But heart of heart, you want your son to excel. Other son, excel or not, doesn't matter. But my son should excel. Sense of possession. So the one who has denied the sense of possession means he has completely removed the vasanas and not letting new even samskaras to come in his way. So nirashaya, yata chittatma and tyakta sarva parigraha, these three are different platforms. That is why Gurudeva has given it as 1, 2, 3 together as ego. Ego manifests on 3 different planes through these 3 things, and precisely these 3 things are controlled by that yogi. That is why once these 3 things are gone, that means ego is gone. Then what will happen? Will the yogi leave right away from this earth? No. He'll still be there. Why? Because of his prarabdha. But the word prarabdha hasn't come in the shloka. Sir, shariram kevalam karma is equal to prarabdha. Shariram kevalam karma. This body shall continue to exhibit certain tendencies and actions on account of prarabdha, because the phalam has to be experienced till the prarabdha is there. So it will keep unfolding. Quite possible. Gurudeva's body did give him pain, did give him that cardiovascular disease, everything. He did not suffer from the pain. That's a different story, sir. But the pain was inflicted by the body. Why? Shariram kevalam karma, the prarabdha vashat. Whatever prarabdha was prompting him to do, including the jnana yajna. Because without prarabdha, how will you do jnana yajna also? Because the moment you say daivi ichha or divine will, even then, for the divine to will, you require Prakriti to intervene. Pure divine will is in Supta Ichha Shakti form. Expressed will, expressed Ichha Shakti of God, divine will, it gives divine results, all right, but it has to take recourse to then Prakriti, because it becomes an apara Prakriti. That is why Gurudev says, such a person who has given up what? The ego. That's why a Sufi saint says, if you want to see the God, then there is one condition. खुद को ना देखना है, तुझे देखने की शर्त. If you want to see the Lord, you can't see yourself. Either you or the Lord. That means either ego or the divine field. That's why कर्म प्रधान विश्व रचि राखा, जो जस कर ही सो तस चाखा. The karma will give its fruit, but if only the fruit is taken of the past karma without creating further fruit for the further karma, by annihilating the desire, drudena chitva, asanga shastrena, without sanga, that is with a complete desireless attitude, then what happens? Then Gurudev says, if the body is given to me, I have nothing to do with this body, then the body belongs to whom? To the one who gave it, the Lord. Then the Lord says, hurry up, there is a bhakta of mine, having a beautiful suvarna sharira, golden body. Now that body I can use, because he has no use, the bhakta has no use. Bhagavanta says, now I will use his body. For what? Till the time he is there, let me show my presence through his body. We have already referred to the incidents of Hong Kong in Gurudeva's life, where he has tacitly agreed to the fact that he was nothing else but the vehicle of divine will. And every saintly person in this, Kabir Maharaj is saying, what is his body? Kabir Maharaj said, he said, my body, ye than tat tambure ka. My body is like a instrument, tambura. It's like a veena in the hands of Lord. Paach tattva ka bana hai tambura, tar laga nau ture ka. Ashtada Prakriti has made this particular thing. Echat tar marodat khunti, sanyatendriyata, sanyachit atma, if it is properly controlled. Echat tar marodat khunti, nikasat rag huzure ka. Then the raga that the veena plays is nothing else but the divine music. That is why the next shloka speaks about yadrucha labha santushto. If I have no inclination to create new karma, if I know consciously that what has come to me is because of my past prarabdha, then what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to just keep quiet and accept whatever comes. Yadrucha. His ichha, whatever it may be. And I'm happy content in his ichha, which is now coming to me as a part of karma phalam of my past karma. So how do you say to Lord, Lord, whatever you do, I am happy in whatever you are doing. हम है राजी उसमें जिसमें तेरी रजा है, not my wish, तेरी रजा है, your desire. इधर भी वाह वाह है, उधर भी वाह वाह है. If you give me happiness, I'm happy. If you give me sorrow, I'm happy. Both are okay with me. Why? Because I am dvandvatita. Now the sorrow and pain doesn't make any difference to me, because I am a fakir. जो फकीरी मिजाज रखते हैं वो ठोकरों में ताज रखते हैं. जिनको कल की फिक्र नहीं वो मुट्ठी में आज रखते हैं. The present is in their fist because they have kicked the future. Dandvatito vimatsaraha. No jealousy about, no envy about anything in this world. Why? Yasmin sarvani bhutani atman eva anupashyati sarva bhuteshu cha atmanaha tato na vijigupsate. Ishavasya Upanishad said, where is the question of envy when I am the only one present? Samaha siddhava siddho. There is neither success nor failure. Whatever comes is Lord only. Guruji, jahan baithu wahan chhaya ji. Gorakshanath Maharaj says, wherever I sit, I see only the grace of yours. When such a person, then when he acts, there is no karma at all. Because the conditions of karma are not fulfilled. Neither this man is acting, nor he has any interest in having the phalam of what he is doing. Then what will happen? The karma poor fellow will retire and go away. This client is not mine. The bank will say discarded from the bank of samsara because he has no credits, debits available here. Such is the case of that realized yogi who then never comes under the bondage of samsara. His account is closed, the passbook is returned. What about his old deposits that he has? The old deposit is still there, but there is no taker. Why? Because of a jnana udaya, he is no more a member of samsara. So unclaimed property cannot be returned to a owner, because owner has not been traced or found out. Then it will be auctioned into Pancha Mahabhuta. Ultimately, it is given back to Pancha Mahabhuta because there is no taker. That is how a yogi would reach to the stage of Jivana Muktata. Hari Om.